Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to LIBOR's Wednesday webinar. My name is Marianne Monteleone, Vice President of Professional Development for LIBOR. September is Realtor Safety Month on a national level, and nothing is more important than your safety out in the field. So we're dedicating every Wednesday in September to your safety and honoring National Realtor Safety Month. Today, we have a very special guest with us today, and his name is Ray Beckett of Real Safe Agent. Real Safe Agent is a protection system that you can download on your phone free. It's absolutely free to LIBOR members. And Ray is going to talk to us about the app, how to use it, how to work it, and why it is so important that you take advantage of this free member benefit for LIBOR. So let me tell you a little bit about Ray. I'll formally introduce him and then welcome him as our friend. Ray Beckett is the Business Development Director at Real Safe Agent. He has many years of experience in talking to real estate agents, brokers, associations, and MLSs about the effective ways to keep agents safe when they are out showing and on listing appointments or at an open house. Ray lives here on Long Island, and LIBOR as a customer is specifically assigned to him. He is available to provide webinars, training, and classes, phone calls with you, to come into your office, to Zoom meet with you, to help you to understand the application, how to use it. But let's turn it over to Ray and let's get a lesson on this on how to keep you safe. So welcome, Ray.
Thank you, Marianne. I appreciate it. I do enjoy doing this each year. Agent safety is extremely important. I mean, there's a whole month dedicated to it, but from our standpoint, every day is Agent Safety Day. We never want to see anything happen to an agent. Everything we do within our company is to try to keep agents safe, to teach them how to be safe. As Marianne said, I am Ray Beckett. I am here on Long Island. Anyone listening to me can use me as a resource in your office. If you're an agent and you think this was a good presentation, great. Talk to your broker. I'm more than happy to do a Zoom meeting or come in personally. If you're a broker, hey, have me come on in. Real Safe Agent, we call it a crime prevention system because we aim to do just that. We aim to prevent a crime from ever happening. We do not want to see a crime against real estate agents ever happen. So that's why we designed this system. And that's why we do all these training classes. We have tons of free resources online, which I'll get into. But that's our goal here. Our goal is to keep you safe at all times. So while this is going to be how to use Real Safe Agent, and I know that a couple of weeks ago, Dave Lagaz had a training course on agent safety, I just want to hit a couple of the highlights just so in case you missed Dave's presentation, you have a little information. So some facts. 5% of all agents have been a victim of violent crime while showing a home. I guess the flip side, good news is 95% haven't been. But if you are one of those 5%, your life is affected forever. Forever. We're talking violent crimes, murder, rape, assault, things of that nature. These are bad, bad crimes. 80% of crimes go unreported. There are a number of different reasons. Some people have shame, some people have guilt. You could be someone whose spouse doesn't want you to be a real estate agent for whatever reason, and you're afraid if you go home and say, oh yeah, I just got assaulted when I was at a showing, your spouse will say, hey, you can't do that job anymore. Whatever it is, 80% of crimes go unreported. So that's a real, real crazy number. And for you men who are out there listening, 30% of victims are men. 30% of victims are men. So I know you might think that this is just a woman problem. It is not. While women tend to be attacked more, 30% of the victims are men. So please be aware, listen to what I'm saying, learn the techniques. These are things you need to know. So who is attacking real estate agents? It's typically a 25 to 55-year-old Caucasian male. typically middle to upper middle class, typically in the trades or a white collar job, and typically in a long-term relationship. Now, if I asked you before I put that up there, how would you describe a person who attacks real estate agents? I'd be willing to bet that is not the demographic that you would choose. You certainly wouldn't think it's an upper middle class white collar person who's in a long-term relationship. There's no way you would think that. I used to like doing this presentation and this slide much better a few years ago. I used to fall into all four of those demographics. Unfortunately, I've aged out of one. But I used to say to people, like, look, you're all looking at me now. If I walked into a showing, would you think that I was going to be dangerous? To a person, you'd all say no. But I at one point had fallen into every single one of those four demographics. So don't judge a book by its cover. Treat everyone the same when it comes to safety. Crime against agents, it's predatory crime. It's not opportunistic crime. It's predatory crime. They are the predator and you are the prey. Make no mistake about that. This is no different than a lion and a zebra out there on the Serengeti in Africa. And unfortunately for you as an agent, you are the zebra. These predators have a long, detailed process on how they target you. And they don't just target you, they might be looking at 5, 10, 20 different agents at one time to decide who they are going to attack. They are going to attack somebody. The goal here is to teach you techniques to make sure that you are not the person who's attacked. So some changes you can make. I'm not going to get into them in detail, but proper headshots, adjusting your marketing message, looking for red flags on the initial phone call, and adjusting the way you show a home. Now, again, I'm not going to get into detail on these. If you would like, again, I said we have resources that are free. You just have to go to our website, realsafeagent.com. On the top, there's a resource tab. Just click on it, and everything is in there. We have tons of short videos, a couple of books. We do webinars every single week. I think we do them 3 or 4 times a year, different webinars. Go online. It's all free. You just have to register, put in your email address so that you can have access to everything, but it's free. Please avail yourself of this opportunity to use this information. So Marianne said this at the start, and I'm going to say it now, and I'm going to tell you I'm going to say it again at the end. Real Safe Agent is a free LIBOR member benefit. LIBOR pays for this already. You do not, as an individual, have to pay for this at all. There's a 6-digit LIBOR code, which you see right there on the bottom of the screen. Write it down. It's free, everybody. For the life of me, I don't understand the resistance that I get when I do presentations on people that do not want to download a free app that could potentially save their lives. And I've had people say to me, hey, Ray, I only do referrals or I show in rich neighborhoods. I don't have to worry about my safety. Well, you're probably wrong, but even if you're right, with Real Safe Agent, as you'll see, you can help out your fellow real estate agent. You can help out someone in your office, someone you might know. So even if you don't want to avail yourself of having someone come to an appointment with you, maybe you can help somebody else. So download the app for the other person. Download the app so that you can help them stay safe. And that's my pitch until the end. So let's get into this. The initial setup. We've simplified things as much as possible. I'm going to go through a number of different screenshots here. And the reason why I think these screenshots are going to be so important is we found that people, and this goes for all apps, not just Real Safe Agent with the real estate agents, that people go into an app a lot of times, and if they don't really understand what's going on within the app, they just shut down. They don't bother with it anymore. So what I'm here to do is show you how pretty much simple it is to click through the different steps and how few steps you have to go to get yourself set up within the app and make sure that you're safe. So I have an Android, so it's logging in with Google, but you can log in with your Apple ID. And when you do that, you're going to come to a screen and it's going to ask you if you're an agent or a buddy. And I'll explain to you what buddies are in a little bit. But you're an agent and you're affiliated with LIBOR. That NKI 533, that 6-digit code, when you click on I am an agent, it's going to pop you to the next screen and it's going to ask you to enter your organization code. That's that NKI 533. Once you do that, you're going to get Real Safe Agent for free because LIBOR paid. If someone is not a LIBOR member who's actually listening now, or you have friends that are not LIBOR members, they can just go onto our website and it's $4.99 a month. Hit continue, and it's going to say subscription successful. If for some reason it doesn't, you can either reach out to me or our support line, and we can help you figure that out. And this is our screen. There might be slight differences, Android versus Apple, different versions, but for the most part, this is what you should all see. We've tried to make it as simple as possible, as straightforward as possible. Now, when Real Safe Agent started, this was just for people within the real estate industry. And we've heard from people that, wow, it would be nice to have some of these features in our personal lives also. So the bottom half, for any of you who have seen Real Safe Agent before, the bottom half of the screen, the bottom half of everything all over here, this is all the professional stuff, all the professional stuff. The top stuff up here, or some of the stuff up here, the Assist Me and the Quick Alert, these are new things that you can use in your personal life. And I'll get into those in a little bit also. So the very first thing we're going to ask you to do when you download Real Safe Agent is to build your community. So what's your community? Well, before I mentioned buddies. Buddies are your community. Groups are your community. Buddies are people that you have a direct link to, someone who you send a buddy link to. It could be a spouse, a child, a neighbor, a friend, a tennis buddy, or pickleball is all the rage, a pickleball buddy. That's going to be who your buddies are. These are people who are going to get alerts when you send them out. And there are also groups. You can join different groups. It could be your brokerage. If there are multiple offices within your brokerage, it could be all of them. It could be, if you work for Caldwell Banker, it could be all the Long Island Caldwell Bankers. It could be any number of other groups. Whatever, however you want to set up the groups, or other people want to set up groups to invite you into, any way they want to do it, that's what they do. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to go into this build your community. And you're going to see this screen. And you'll notice it says my buddies, my groups. And on the top here, it says tap if you want to learn more about buddies or groups. So you might see something like that on other pages, and it will give you some instructions if you tap on it. So, instructions. Your community is made up of buddies and groups. Buddies are people who you are directly connected to. Groups are organizations you can create or join. Buddies and people in your groups are the people who receive requests and alerts. That is why we tell you from the jump, the first thing you should do, I think we might actually even require it, is to put in buddies. You might not have groups yet, but put in buddies. Because Real Safe Agent is only effective if you have people that you can ask for help. If you have no buddies and you're members of no groups, and you send out an alert, nobody's going to get it. So that's a problem. So I'm going to show you how to set all of that up. So again, we're back to this screen and we're going to add a new buddy. So you just downloaded Real Safe Agent and you say, you know something, I want to try this out. My spouse is a good person for me to put in here as a buddy because my spouse wants to make sure I'm safe. So I'm going to send my spouse out a buddy request. Well, it's going to pop up this screen, add a new buddy. It's going to ask you for your first name, your last name, and well, their first name, their last name, and their phone number. And then you hit submit. And you'll see an invitation to Ray Beckett has been sent. So you know that the request was sent. On the flip side, they're going to get a text that says your name, in this case we have Betsy Dees, wants to add you as a buddy. Install RealSafe Agent from the App Store or Play Store and use the code blah, blah, blah to install the buddy features at no charge. So the importance of this is LIBOR has paid for your RealSafe Agent. Your buddies don't have RealSafe Agent. Many of them are not part of LIBOR, so they cannot use the LIBOR code. But what we've done is using these codes that go with your buddy requests, it allows them to download RealSafe Agent with only the functionality of being able to respond to requests from you. Drop in alerts, accompany me requests, and you'll understand what those are in a moment. So that's all it does. When I showed you before, when you were clicking on I am an agent and putting in your code, they would click on I am a buddy and put in their code. And they would be able to have that stripped down version of RealSafe Agent because they don't need all the functionality. They're just there to help you out. So that's great. Your buddy gets that. They download RealSafe Agent. So what do? Enter received buddy code. And they put the buddy code in there. So some notes on buddies. You can only put in a buddy request that you have received from another agent. You can only put in a request. So I can't just put in some number that someone else gave me. My friend said, "Oh, I'm so-and-so's buddy. This was the code he gave me." It can only be if someone sends you out a buddy request. And again, so you must be invited to be someone's buddy. And buddies are reciprocal. So if one of your buddies happens to be a LIBOR member, when you buddy them, it will automatically have them buddy you so that you can help each other out. Next, we're going to talk about groups. There are two types of groups you can create, a public and a private. For public, any agent can join. And it's going to be just like the buddies. It's going to be just like you as an agent with LIBOR. We work on 6-digit codes. So when you create a group, there's going to be a 6-digit code. If it's a public group, anyone that gets that 6-digit code can use it. So, if you're my broker and you sent me a 6-digit code for a group that we were going to do, but I say, hey, my friend in a different brokerage, maybe we should get them in there. I can give them the 6-digit code and they can just join. That's a public group. A private group is only for specific people that you want to be in there. So they have to be approved to get in there. Only agents can join groups. Buddies cannot join a group. And only the agent or the entity that created the private group can approve or remove people. So let's get into groups a little bit. You got a group code. You want to join that group. Great. You just click on join group. You enter the group code and RSA community group joined. So you joined that group now. So now let's say you want to look at all your different groups. Well, how many groups am I a member of? Well, you just click on that little greater than sign, I guess it would be, next to my groups. And it will show you, here's a list of all your different groups. I'm in 4 different groups. Well, if now you want to see who is in each group, all you need to do again is click the little greater than sign. And boom, it pops it up. Now this happens to be a private group. But if you'll notice, there's 3 people in it and they all say on, right? Well, let's say you want to send out a request and there's a group and it has everyone in your office. And there are 1 or 2 agents in your office that you just don't like. I mean, it happens. You don't really want them to respond. You can go in and turn those people off and they will not get your requests. For the most part, I say open it up to everyone. The more people there are, the better. But if you want to turn someone off, you can do that. And notice I had mentioned, and it's not circled here, but here's the 6-digit code. This is that group code. And on the bottom, it says copy group code. So there it is. I turned Julie off. I decided I did not want Julie to receive my notification. So what's the next thing? Creating groups. You want to create a group. You think, wow, this is a great idea. Or you're a broker and say, I want all my agents in my office to be in this group. So you just click on create a group. And on top again, create a group. And it brings you to the group creation screen. First thing you have to do is put in a group name. Again, whatever you want it to be. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is pick public or private. And again, public means anyone could be in that group. Anyone that gets a hold of that 6-digit code and has a real safe agent can get into your group. Private, just private. What's going to happen, and you'll see with private, you have to approve them. So let's take a look at my test group. So in this test group, again, you'll notice there's the 6-digit code. That is the code that people will use to get into this group. Copy group code. That makes it easy. We tried to make it easy so you didn't have to remember it or write it down. Just copy group code. Now you can just do a paste, to all the people you want to send this group to. Hey, here's my 6-digit group code. Please put it in. Send, and you're all set. So we've now created groups, we've joined groups. Let's administer a group. So I'm a broker and I put together a private group and I want to be able to administer that. You just, again, go into that group. And if you'll notice, there's pending members. So you will see people up there who have requested to be a member. And then you approve them or disapprove them. Once you approve them, they become approved members. So it's really simple and straightforward. If you want to create the group, you just create it. You decide if it's public or private. If it's private, you have to go back in to allow members to go in, and you have your 6-digit code, which you can send to people. I'm going to just take a quick look. It says there are 2 questions. I can't see your screen. Can everyone else see my screen? Does anyone else have that issue? Because Anastasia, if everyone else can see it. Marianne, are you okay with seeing my screen? Okay, she might not be there at the moment. So I'm sorry, Anastasia, if you don't have it. For the anonymous attendee, what's the point of creating all these groups if there is a security app? Well, the app allows you to get people to help you when you need help. And we're going to get in to what all that is. If you don't have people that are there to help you, then no one can come when you request it. And you'll see how that all works as I go on, because we're up to that point actually now. So you can see why you're creating these groups and why you're creating these buddies. These are the people that are going to come and assist you. Because if you just have an app and it doesn't notify anybody, well, then it doesn't really do anything for you. So this again is the main dashboard. And the first thing that we're going to want to do is go into prospect information. That is the first thing that can get done. And this is the first tab that we use. And when you click on prospect information, it opens up 2 sub-tabs. One is whose phone and prospect link, and one is the agent comfort index. And we're going to take them in order. So the first one is whose phone and prospect link. And what we tried to do is we tried to put a notification or a little blurb under each tab to basically tell you what it is. So whose phone and prospect link? Start here right after a new prospect calls you. So you've just taken a phone call. The person says they want to see a home. So this is where you would start. You would click on this tab. And what it's going to do is it's going to open up something and it's going to ask for a phone number. You put the prospect's phone number in there. There's also something called the prospect link, which you should click to on. And when you do that, a verification link has been sent, and it will return with information on that phone number that you put in there. And what it's going to mainly tell you is what type of phone it is. And why do we do that? So let's say like this one happens to be a paid phone. If someone calls you up, I want to buy a house in Garden City, $1 to $1.2 million. And you put them into whose phone and prospect link, and it comes up that they have a prepaid phone. That seems a little weird. Someone who's buying $1 million+ house to have a prepaid phone seems odd. So it's a red flag. Now, they could have a prepaid phone, but odds are they wouldn't. And what we're looking for on some of this stuff is to look for red flags. Red flags mean bring someone with you. You can't always bring someone with you, but if there are red flags, you want to bring someone with you. So this is just a red flag. If it's a prepaid phone, red flag. They'll also get an email, or sorry, a text that will say, hey, Julianne from Realty Services would like you to upload a photo and send it back to her. People may or may not do it. You can choose for yourself whether them not doing it is a red flag or not. So all whose phone does is tells you what kind of phone they have. So now that prospect link I told you about, well, what does the prospect link do? It associates with what we call our agent comfort index. It tells you how other agents felt with that prospect. Now, on the top, it has complete and incomplete, and it has the phone number. So anyone who has completed it, who sent back the information you asked, would be under complete. Anyone who has not would be under incomplete. Now, the beauty of this is it doesn't matter necessarily whether they send it back. Everything's tied to that phone number that we entered in there. Everything is tied to that phone number. That's why you see it up there. And when you click on it, it will bring you to a screen and it will give you some information on here. Now you notice it's incomplete because I didn't fill it out, but it shows an agent comfort index. Sorry about that. An agent comfort index up here of 1. Prospects are rated on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. So, red flags again. If you see someone has an agent comfort index of 1, that's bad. Bring someone with you, and you can decide at what level do you feel you should bring someone with you. But that can give you an idea of how other agents felt. Also down here, more toward the middle, this prospect has been with one agent in the last 14 days and one agent total. So where does that give you information? Predators, as I said before, victim shop. They might go to 5, 10, 15, 20 different agents. You know, someone who's looking for a home might go to 2, 3, 4 different agents. But if you see they've seen 12 agents in the last 14 days, that's a red flag. No one should be going to that many different agents all in that short a period of time. So how do we get that agent comfort index? What we do is after you go out on a call, a listing appointment, a showing, whatever it is, we ask you for you to rate how you felt while you were on that call. You rate on that scale of 1 to 5. And what we do is we don't remember what you said, but the software takes all that information and it aggregates it. Again, it ties it to that phone number. So we have an average. We know how everyone else rated that person. And that's the information we give back to the other agents. We don't say, oh, Ray said it was a 2 and Marianne said it was a 4 and so on and so on. So now we're back to the main screen. We did that prospect information. Here's where we get into the real guts of things. This is where we get into why you need to set up your buddies and why you need to set up your groups. And that's showing features. This is where the rubber hits the road. So there are 2 things within showing features. And the first is accompany me. Start here to find someone to go with you on your appointment. This is where buddies and groups first come in. What you're going to do is, hey, you spoke to someone on the phone, something just doesn't seem right. It just seems a little off. Now, for you guys, you make your money by selling. That's it. You make your money by selling. So you don't want to necessarily not go on an appointment, but you just feel a little off. That sixth sense, the tingling on the back of your neck, you just think something seems off here. Bring someone with you. That's what you use an accompany me request for. I'm going to take a look at those other 2 questions in just a moment. So it brings you to this screen. Well, I have an appointment. You need to tell the people who you're going to request to meet you when and where. So the first thing is you put the date, the time, and the approximate duration that you think you're going to need them. This way they know the when part. And next, you're going to add the location. And when you add the location, it's kind of like Google. When you start typing it in, it will populate. So you don't have to type the whole thing out. It will all be in there. So that will give them the date and the time. Now, when it's looking for people, when it's going to send this out, it's going to send it out to people who are in the area of your appointment, not where you currently are, but where you will be, because that's the people most likely to be there when you need them. So if you want, you can add a prospect from those prospects that you had, those phone numbers that you entered in. And you can also change the settings. When you change the settings, again, you can go in and change which groups you don't want to notify. Maybe you have a group of just pickleball people and you don't want to notify them, but you can turn your groups on and off. So it just does the people who you want to be notified. And you can also change the range that it goes out to. And basically what it's going to go to is it's going to go to all your buddies, and it's going to go to 20 people, the first 20 people, or the closest 20 people to the spot that you will be on this appointment. Because it doesn't need to go to people that are 100 miles away or 50 miles away. They're not coming to meet you. So that's what it's going to do. This will get you someone to meet you at an appointment when you don't feel safe. This is kind of the proactive end of things. So you are having someone go there and meet you at the appointment. This makes it much easier than going to different people in your office, texting a lot of different people, calling a lot of different people. All you have to do is go into the software, do these few things, and send it out. And again, all your buddies get it, and the 20 closest agents to that point of where you're going to be going. So it tells you an accompany me request has been sent. So you've now sent it out to all those people. The people on the other end, they're going to get something that says that the agent requested an accompany me. It's going to tell them the date, the time, the duration, the person's name, and the location. So now you have the choice. Do you want to accept it or not? It's gone out to a whole bunch of people. If you're going to be in that area at that time, it would be nice of you to go and help the person on that appointment. So you just hit accept. And the flip side is the person who requested it will get something that says somebody accepted. When they click into it, it will tell them again in a little more detail, Lee Goldstein accepted your accompany me request. And if it says show me and you click on it, it will, if Lee has a picture in there, it will show you Lee's picture and it will tell you his name. So this way, you now know who is going to meet you at that appointment. So you send out an accompany me request, people get it, someone responds to it, you then get notification that they responded. So before we go on the next thing, I'm just going to pop into the questions real quick. Are the agent's remarks from agents only from the app? Are the agent's remarks, Tracy, I'm not sure what that means. Was there something on there that said agent's remarks? If there was, yes, if you put something in there, it would show it. And can this be connected to law enforcement? I think iPhones and Androids now have an emergency way to be connected to law enforcement. And I'm going to show you how by shaking the phone, you can actually send out an emergency alert, which will send something out to all of your buddies and your different groups to say, please call the police. So there is a way to send out an emergency alert. Doesn't go right into the police, but it will go to all your buddies to say, hey, please call the police. And anonymous attendee, you're welcome. So that was accompany me. We did accompany me. It's before you go out to a call, a showing, a listing. You want someone to go with you. Well, the next thing is showing mode. What you do before you get out of your car. It says start here before you enter a house with a prospect or going on a listing appointment. I will tell you before you leave your car, put the phone in showing mode. Showing mode allows you to ask for help from somebody in a very clandestine way. The prospect will never know, but you need to be in showing mode. It literally takes seconds to put your phone in showing mode. So that's what you're going to do before you get out of your car. So when you click on showing mode, it's going to give you this little blurb. Drop-in alerts allow you to get another person to the showing when you first feel uncomfortable instead of waiting until you're scared. And we put that up there for a very specific reason. Once you get to the point where you are really scared, it's probably progressed to the point that you can't get someone there in time. If you start feeling uncomfortable, if things start to feel a little wrong, a little off, that prospect is really starting to get into your personal space or saying things that just don't sound right. If they're starting to get you worried, that's when you request the help. You don't wait until you're really scared. There's also emergency alerts, and they'll notify all your buddies and group members in the area with your location and tell them to call the police. You have to be in showing mode and it will pop up a fake screen. Again, showing mode is to get help while you're already at an appointment. So you can change the range here, just like you did on the other one, on how far out you want it to go. And then it says showing mode, press and hold anywhere on the screen for 3 seconds to issue or cancel a drop-in alert. It is that simple. You will have your phone in your hand, odds are, when you're walking and you're showing, you just press down on the screen for 3 seconds when you're in showing mode. That's it. And it will send out an alert. Nobody will know you did it. Nobody and no prospect will know you did it. Shake the phone violently up and down 4 times to issue an emergency alert. And we're going to go into that soon. And to exit showing mode, swipe up, swipe down, and it takes you out of showing mode. Or if you have a back button still on your phone, you can use that. So once you enter, boom, that's your fake screen. There's nobody who will know that that is a fake screen. Nobody. Nobody at all. And if you'll notice, there's a little real safe agent symbol there, and there's a green kind of like Wi-Fi looking thing there. That just means you're in showing mode and you have not actually sent out an alert yet, a drop-in alert yet. So that's what's there. And that just stays on, hold it for 3 seconds, and it sends it out. Well, let's see what happens next. It's going to look very, very similar to the accompany me. Other agents are going to get this drop-in request. It's going to say, Di Wilstein issued a drop-in alert. You can respond or decline, and then it will tell you where they are. Now, if you'll notice, there's also a navigate and an audio on-off. You will get directions on how to get from where you are to where they are, so that you don't have to worry about figuring it out. You'll get the directions on how to get from place A to place B. The other thing that it will do is it will put the audio on. Why is that important? So you respond and you're coming to help me out. Now you're listening to what's going on in the house. So if you just hear great wood floors, love the skylights, so on and so on, beautiful bedroom, you keep on going, you come to the house, you walk in. You don't want to say, oh my God, is everything okay? I got your drop-in alert. Are you okay? Because all that's going to do is freak out the customer and they're going to wonder what you're talking about. You just walk in and you just say, oh, I'm really sorry. I must be early for our appointment. So now you're a second person in that house. If this was going to be an attack, it's less likely to happen. But you haven't ruined the sale. That's the beauty of it. You haven't ruined the sale. That's why we don't send alerts directly out for the drop in to the police. Because if the police come running in and this was just a weird person who has a lot of money and is going to buy a home, but was never going to attack you, it won't work out too well. If you are listening and you hear, oh my God, put down the gun, stop going and call the police because you don't want to get yourself in a bad situation also. So don't really love this slide, but down here, if you saw it real quick, it was red, which means there was a drop-in alert and the person canceled it, so it went back to green again. Red to green. and it tells you that it's been canceled. So if you sent the drop-in alert out and you're done with the showing, or you feel more comfortable, you can cancel them by just holding the down for 3 seconds again. For the emergency alerts, shake the phone up and down 4 times. Shake it hard. Why? Why do we do that with shaking it? Well, I'm going to try to do this on the little screen. If you're hitting someone with it, if you have your phone in your hand, you're being attacked and you're hitting someone, that's what you're doing. That will set off the emergency alert. If you're running away from someone, we move our arms when we run, that will set off the emergency alert. So we try to do it figuring what motions, what actions would people be taking in order to set that off. So since we're back here again, I'm just going to take a quick pop up to the questions. Let's see. Hello. Is this being recorded? I used to have the app, but deleted it. Yes, Esther, this is being recorded. LIBOR is recording it, so it's best probably to reach out to them and find out how best to get the recording. Will there be a recorded version? I don't know if it's being sent out, Pietro. Again, you're going to want to reach out. Maybe Marianne will come back on at the end and I can ask her how you guys best get it. Okay, so what's next? We've talked about the prospect and how you can get information on the prospect. We've talked about sending out an alert, an accompany me request, if you feel uncomfortable before you go on an appointment to get someone to come with you. We've talked about a drop-in alert so that you can get someone to come help you if you're already out at an appointment, or send out an emergency alert if you really feel there's a problem. And remember, you can always get yourself, well, I shouldn't say can always get yourself out. If you just feel super uncomfortable, you can't get anyone to come out there, end the appointment. Your life is not worth that commission. We all have cell phones with us now. A lot of us just keep them on vibrate. If you just feel super, super uncomfortable, you really think something's up, get yourself out of the situation. If it's a legit prospect, they might be mad, but they'll get over it. If it's a predator, you may have saved your life. It's as simple as picking up your phone and going, "Oh, sorry, excuse me 1 second," and just saying, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yep, I'm on a meeting. I'm okay. I'm going to leave right now." That's all it takes. If you're that worried, if you're that freaked out, get out. Just get out. You can always reschedule. So we talked about those emergency alerts. What we tell people to do once you download Real Safe Agent is go to the little cogwheel, which means settings in almost every app, pop up the settings, and go to test emergency alert. You want to make sure it works on your phone, that everything's going okay. So you click on that and it will say begin test. You shake it up and down. This will not send out an alert. This is strictly a test. And hopefully you'll get this message, test successful. This way you know everything works. It's always good to test things out. So the last thing on this set is open house features. Now, open house features, they're very, very similar to some of the showing features. We have open house accompaniment and open house mode. Well, open house mode and showing mode are basically the same thing. It's just for an open house. So I'm not really going to go into that. You saw all that stuff. But open house accompaniment, there is a little bit of difference. And the reason why we did this, why there is a difference, one, it's hard to get someone to come with you for 3-4 hours for an open house. But the most dangerous times at an open house are the beginning and the end of the open house. Much easier to get someone to come for 15, 30 minutes at the beginning and 15 or 30 minutes at the end. So what we've done is we've done a very similar thing to the accompany me request, where you have to put in the date and the address and all that. But now we have find opening accompaniment and find closing accompaniment. So it's going to send it out to the people. And, Steve can say, "Oh, yeah, I can't be there the whole time, but yeah, I can be there from 10 to 10:30 when you open the open house." And maybe Sally says, "Oh, you're ending the open house at 1? Yeah, I could be there from 12:30 to 1." So it kind of chunks it up into two parts without you having to go and say, "Hey, accompany me request, 10 o'clock to 10:30 at this place, then go accompany me request 12:30 to 1 o'clock at this place. You do it all in one, makes it easier for you, and you can see everything in one place. That's how that open house accompaniment works. So what's next? Shortcuts. I'm going to go through shortcuts quickly. I don't love shortcuts. They're going to have more uses later, but we put them in now. Shortcuts are the things in the middle. You see those gray boxes. And basically what a shortcut does is we've pre-programmed certain shortcuts in there. One touch showing mode, accompany me, open house mode. And what it really does is it allows you to cut a couple steps out. So in showing mode, there are like 5 steps you have to go through in order to get showing mode open. If you use one touch showing mode, it's like 2 steps. So it does save you a little bit of time. And as you get better at things and know what they're doing, you can just hit that one touch thing. So let's say I hit one touch showing mode. Now you can notice one of those gray boxes has one touch showing mode in there. There's a little widget in there. So instead of going to showing features, showing mode, clicking on all the things, you just hit one touch showing mode. Again, our goal is to have more uses for that with time, especially on the personal side. But for right now, that's what we have for it. So before I get into the stuff that we do in our personal lives, I'm going to ask for a question. Oh yes, I have done all summer vacant open houses. I'm super careful, but put up notices ID is required and stay outside. So this is welcome. Great. Um, so everything we've used now, again, is for your professional side. But people did ask about personal side of things. You know, I'm going to an open house, I'm going to a showing, I'm in my car, I put showing mode on in case I need a drop-in alert. But let's say I'm doing something in my personal life and I'm somewhere. I'm not putting my phone in showing mode every time I go somewhere. So what we've done is we've created quick alert. Quick alert is very similar to a drop-in alert. You just hold your finger on that quick alert for 3 seconds, and you'll notice it will turn green. That sent out a quick alert to your groups, to your buddies, and things like that. So they're getting that alert saying, please, I'd like someone to come to me now. When you want to turn it off, you would just hold down the stop alert for 3 seconds, and it turns it off. So again, quick alert is a drop-in alert for your personal life. Well, we have drop-in alerts, we have quick alert, well, we have accompany me. So what's the personal side of accompany me? It's something that we call assist me. In your business life, you want an accompany me to go to a showing, a listing, an open house. In your personal life, there's so many different things that you do that it might not even be a safety thing. You might just have a bunch of people that you play pickleball with, and you want to be able to send some kind of notification to all of them. Well, with Assist Me, what pops up next is all the information you need to add in there. So my request is location, sent to, time. So the first thing is my request is, you click the little greater than sign and you enter in your new request. Just put that whatever you want to title it. I titled it Go Jogging. Lots of people like to go jogging. Many people like people to go jogging with them, partly as someone to talk to, partly as a safety thing, safety in numbers. So I typed go jogging, hit continue, and now if you'll notice, morning jog is up there. My request is morning jog. Well, now I need to put in a location. Enter a start and an end address. If you're just going for a jog with someone, there's probably only going to have a start address. It's probably going to be the same. But let's say, especially if you're an older person, maybe your ankle's hurt, you want someone to help you get to the store, to the grocery store, the supermarket. Well, start address might be your house, and end address will be the supermarket. So you can give them all kinds of different information in there. Put the addresses in, hit continue, and now that's populated. So who do I want to send it to? You can go into your different groups. And again, you turn on and off your groups as you wish. You might not, if you want to play pickleball, you might not want to send it to the people from your office. So again, turn them on and off however you'd like to do it. And again, those first three things, and now the time. So you put in the time of day that you want it. And now when you hit continue on this, it's going to ask you a different question. It's going to say, do you want to save as a template? And you can say yes or no. The reason why we did that was maybe you play pickleball at the same time every Monday, or want to go on a jog Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can save the information in there. Makes it much easier. You don't have to retype everything every time. So if you hit yes, create a template, you put in the template name, hit OK. I called it morning jog, hit OK, and it says a template was created. So now if you'll notice, with request before, sorry, you can't see that, but request before, it used to say enter a new request, and you can still do that. But, or pick from the list, morning jog. So now you just have to pick morning jog, and it says go jogging, and it pre-populates with the information. So again, it saves you a little bit of time, makes your life a little bit easier. So we did professional life, we did personal life. What I'm going to do now is there's a video here. It's about a minute and 8 seconds, I think. And again, it's going to go through how you download RealSafe Agent. Please watch this video. I went over it at the beginning. I like videos. It helps me learn better. It gets into my head better. Watch this video. This will tell you exactly how to download RealSafe Agent. And then I'll come back after this minute.
The new RealSafe Agent has a simple, all-new login procedure. If you have never installed RealSafe Agent on your smartphone, just install RealSafe Agent from the App Store or Play Store. It will ask you to log in with your Apple or Google ID. You'll then be asked to select your initial role. Select Agent, and then enter the 6-digit install code given to you by your MLS, association, brokerage, or team. It's that simple. If you have previously installed RealSafe Agent on your smartphone, you'll be asked to enter your PIN number after logging in with your Apple or Google ID. That will be the last time you'll ever need your PIN. Can't remember your PIN? No problem. Just hit I can't remember my PIN and you'll be taken directly to the select initial role screen as if you've never installed RealSafe Agent. RealSafe Agent, social networking that can save your life.
Really straightforward, really simple and straightforward to download this. And again, we say social networking to save lives. You have Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or any of these other things, other social networks. This is a social network. You're getting buddies, you're forming groups. It's just like Facebook and all the others. But these people, these buddies, these groups will be the people that are going to come and help you when you're in danger. These people can literally save your life. So I promised I would put this up again. I showed the video. Sorry. The 6-digit code is NKI 533. It is free for you. LIBOR pays for this. What I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to take a couple of minutes and I'm just going to stop talking and I'm going to hope nobody leaves when I do that. Maybe I'll keep talking a little bit. I'd like everyone to go now and go to your app store and download the app. You don't have to listen to me. Of course, I can't see you and I won't know. Go to the app. I'm going to take a minute now. Maybe I'll do a little talking about different things. Go and download. So if you have any problems, you can let me know. What I found is when I do these presentations, some people download it, some people don't. Then they leave and they forget their 6-digit code. Stop listening to me, by the way, just download. They forget their 6-digit code. Or though once they leave, they just forget altogether. Download it now. Go to your app store. NKI 533. I'm going to leave that up there for another minute so people can get everything downloaded. For those of you who don't want to do it now, please take that down. I've mentioned this before, free. It's free. It's a free member benefit. Okay, so hopefully everyone has done it. We'll see. I'm going to go to the next and what is the last slide. We have a couple of different ways to contact us. You can just go to our general support at realsafeagent.com, put your name, phone number, email, LIBOR, what you need. On the bottom, you have my email, ray@realsafeagent.com. You can feel free to email me. My phone number, you can feel free to text me if you want. You can call me. I am on Long Island. Long Island is my territory, amongst other things. I am more than happy to do a meeting like this on Real Safe Agent, and I can make it shorter. I can make it longer. I can do one on agent safety. I could do it by Zoom. I could do it in your office. I'll meet you in a park if you want. My goal is to get you to use this. I'm not selling you anything. That's already been sold. LIBOR paid for it. So use me as a resource. Use me as your resource. Our website is realsafeagent.com. There are a ton of free resources. As I said, there are 2 books. There's, I think, between 40 and 50 short videos, 1.5 to 3.5 minutes, all short little videos telling you all kinds of different great information. Some of the stuff we touched on today, some of the safety stuff at the beginning, which I just highlighted but didn't get into. And then, like I said, every week we have webinars. Next week, we actually have 5 different webinars. If you go to our realsafeagent.com and click on resources, you will see all the webinars that we offer every single week. They are all 100% free. Tell your friends about them. If you have real estate agent friends in New Jersey, New York City, Westchester, Connecticut, wherever they are, they can sign in for those free also. It's free. Tell your other LIBOR friends, hey, saw this great presentation. Thank you. You guys should really download Real Safe Agent, and this way you can become my buddy. So that's what I have. Again, I am Ray Beckett from Real Safe Agent. We want to keep you safe. That is our goal. Feel free to email me. Feel free to call me. Email our support line. Whatever you need to do, whatever questions you have, we are here to answer it. Whatever webinar you want, whatever, anything you want, let us know. This is our job. This is why we're here. So please use our resources. They're free. I think I've said free enough. So that's it. I'm not sure if Marianne is back yet or not. If does anyone have any other questions, the Q&A number has not moved at all. So I know for right now, that does not look like there are any other questions. So if there are not, I don't
think
see
that
anyone
looks
else.
like I think if anyone else has anything else to throw in there, but I think we're just about, seems like you answered everything today, right?
Yep, it looks like I got all the 8 questions answered. So if everyone's good, Ethan, someone asked, or a couple people asked, how can they find the recording of this?
Oh, of course I actually don't have chat on right now, so I can't post the link. But let me see if it's on lirealtor.com. I'm trying to remember what the short.
So it's on lirealtor.com.
Yeah, let me see. We used to have a short link for it. Yeah, so lirealtor.com/webinars. That should be posted.
So lirealtor.com/webinars. That's
Yep.
where you will find it.
Yep.
Perfect.
And that should be on, a little later in this week once I get this video processed. But yep.
Okay. So
All right.
lirealtor.com/webinars later in the week. Thank you everyone for coming. Marianne, thank you for having me. Ethan, thank you also. And see everyone next year, or hopefully earlier, because you asked me to come out and do a presentation. Thanks a
All
lot.
right. Thanks, Ray.
Take care, all. Bye-bye.